Mitt the Michigan Mouse, Chapters 3 and 4. Chapter 3, Digby. The animals that remained home from the party sounded their alarm in the usual way. There was chirping and whistling, peeping and buzzing. They spotted an intruder on the trail, but could not see with any certainty who or what it was. A pair of northern flying squirrels flew from tree to tree trying to catch a glimpse of the monster. When they got close enough, they clicked and chucked their description to the other animals. Words quickly spread through the forest by way of trees and thickets, telling how it was tall and gray and fast and very shaggy. The lummox, they exclaimed, was big and it was coming their way. The gray dog was an Irish wolfhound named Digby, and he looked more like a small pony with a beard than he did a dog. His legs were long and thin like spindles, and they carried him in a gallop that went more side to side than forward. His beard was filled with thistles and bristles and brambles, and his feet made a dull flumping sound as he scrambled through the forest, nosing wintergreen and northern dewberry. To the boy, Jack, Digby was the finest dog ever. The pair was heading to the stream, which was not far from the hollowed-out tree where Mitt's home was safely tucked. The stream was clear and shallow, wide and slow-moving. Fallen logs and sticks and branches cluttered its flow, while clumps of moss gathered around the turned-up tree roots that lined the banks. Jack climbed up a large mound of moss to touch the soft green clusters, when, boom! Digby leaped upon the mound too, knocking Jack straight into the stream, where he found himself fixed in muck. His rubber boots slurped through the water, sucking through the cold, thick mud that with each step. Jack was trying to make his way back to the dry banks of the forest stream when Digby came splashing by, getting him wetter still. Digby then went galloping from tree to tree, sniffing and snorting and woofing and huffing, picking up leaves and sticks, only to toss them aside. Just want to show you the picture of the catastrophe. Feeling betrayed by Digby and his lack of concern about tossing him into the water, Jack decided it was time to go home. Digby followed, but then caught a scent that made him curious. He raised his brow and prickled his ears, then stuck his nose inside a dense thicket of wood ferns covering a small, fallen spruce tree. He poked around and grabbed the small mitten he found inside, and then he ran away. Chapter 4, The Joke. Mitt felt sad that his gift for Inger had been ruined. Thinking about how to better the situation, Mitt decided to tell Inger a joke for her birthday gift instead. He thought it might impress her, but he wasn't entirely sure, so he leaned over to brothers Bertel and Benget, two very jolly deer mice with eyes much too large for their heads, and whispered, "What do you get when you cross a goat with an owl?" The brothers looked at him as if they hadn't a clue, and so, with a perfect pause, Mitt proclaimed loudly, "A hootenanny!" Bertel and Bennet fell to the floor laughing in the way that tiny mice do, and this gave Mitt the courage to tell Inger the joke. It wasn't a stack of sugar maple seeds, but it was something. What Mitt hadn't noticed was that Berg had been hiding in the corner eavesdropping. Moments later, everybody was called together for Inger's birthday cake, which was a very large mushroom cap with old summer blueberries. Should he tell the joke now, he thought? Mitt took his tiny mouse paw and groomed his top hairs. He hedged back and forth a bit. He held his tail in his right paw and scratched his chin with his left. Then finally, thinking the moment was just right, Mitt began to speak. But before he could utter the first word, Berg, the wood rat, broke in and hollered out, "Say, Inger, what do you get when you cross an owl with a goat?" From there, Berg told the whole joke, and while everybody was laughing, including Inger, Mitt took off his little acorn hat and slipped away from the cabin. It was definitely time to go home.